G'day, Dave here, the Enlightened Plumber, with today's quote. The moment you change your perception is the moment you change the chemistry of your life or of your body. The moment you change your perception is the moment you change the chemistry of your body. This is from Bruce Lipton. Well, let's get right into this. So perception is a word that I like a lot because it has a whole lot of depth on it. And perception is essentially the viewpoint that you may have on a subject, on an idea, on a religion, on kind of anything that's pretty much out in the world. And everybody's got their own perception of exactly the same thing. And by saying that, the perception then is different, or maybe I should say that the reality is only the reality as you see it. So let's see, how can I explain perception a little bit more? Certainly a visual perception or perception would be if I am standing on one side of a wall with a doorway in it and I am looking at someone on the other side of the opening, and I say, hey, this is a beautiful white wall, that's great, it's nice and clean, freshly painted, and the other person's going, it's not a white wall, it's black. It's a black wall and it's covered in graffiti. What are you talking about? And you're like, no, it's definitely white. Well, on this, it's easy to see that as there's a physical wall in between the two of us and we're literally looking at each other through this opening, that what we're looking at could be two different things. But our perception is the wall, but our perception of what's on the wall is completely different because we're seeing it from two completely different places. And that's what perception's all about. But usually it's with a perception of understanding or experience or something else to do with that. So how does this relate to the rest of this quote being the chemistry of the body? Well, what I like about this is that modern science, and when I say modern, I mean I'm talking the past 10, 15 years, has now proved that as humans, we actually have the ability to change our genes. We can physically control the cells in our body. Now, in saying that, that's where this perception piece comes in, because it's about our beliefs and our understanding of how our body works and what we can do to it. So if I believe that I am going to grow old and fat and I'm going to do it next year, well, next year I will somehow magically be old and fat because that's the belief and the perception of myself. If I have the perception that I am slim and fit, well, then I will become that way. I can physically change my cells to do that. Now, I haven't yet seen the proof that people can make themselves younger, although the science is saying that, yeah, we in theory can stay younger, we can grow our hairs black. In fact, we can probably even grow different colored hairs, but we can regenerate. Like, the body already regenerates the cells, and it's the communication of the cells that changes things over time. But our thinking programs what those cells do, so we can certainly change them and do that. And so that's where this perception and belief standpoint. So if your perception is that you can't do something because that's how it is, or this is the circumstance, or whatever, well, that's what it's going to remain or be. And so that's where a lot of sicknesses come in too. So there are a lot of people who believe themselves to be sicker because they're told something and now they believe it, and that's kind of where it goes. And this, funnily enough, is pretty much how the placebo effect actually works with as far as pills and drugs and all that sort of stuff goes. It's about the control mind, but this level of perception and genetics goes a little bit deeper than that. So anyway, the perception you have will change the chemistry of your body. From Bruce Lipton and myself, Dave the Enlightened Plumber, make sure your perceptions, your thoughts about life and everything to do with it are more positive and more in your favor, and you will enjoy life a whole lot more. See you on the next one.